from Kansas City Steak Company, who is actually one of our oldest and most storied food brands here on QVC. We're bringing you a big deal of burgers. Just when we need a burger. This isn't any old burger, though. That looks like that's the cheddar bacon burger.
That is.
And it is. Each one of these burgers, 4.5 ounces, and they are not just beef burgers, they're steak burgers. So if you're looking at it, you're going, well, where's the kind of light netting that you might see in a regular burger? That's because this looks substantial, like a piece of steak, because it is. And 135120 is your item number. Let me talk to you about what we're offering here. So we have the classic. You can get all 12 in the classic, all 12 in the Medallion onion, all 12 in the cheddar bacon, and that makes it about $5 and change a burger. But here's what I suggest. Get the 24 count, save close to $40, and in that instance, you can get all 24 in the classic. If you're like, you know what, I know how I like to top my burger, I'm good. I don't need any help. All 24 in the classic. But you can also get 12 of the classic and 12 of the Medallion onion, 12 of the classic, 12 of the cheddar bacon, or as we stay down here, 12 cheddar bacon, 12 Medallion onion. So the 24 count is where you really get to flip around and decide what flavors you want to have. The 24 count gives you an opportunity to have 2 different flavors, and that's really exciting. You're going to save, oh, by the way, over 2,000 of these have been snapped up since we launched. When you get the 24 count, that makes each one of these 4.5-ounce burgers $4.16, whether you're doing the classic or the cheddar bacon or Medallion onion. And Ralph Pallarino, who's a chef, by the way, brings us the Kansas City Steak Company. I would love for you to kind of high level this offer. Why did you bring this offer to us?
Okay, so we wanted to take, first of all, our most popular burger, which is the bacon cheddar.
Okay.
Our second most popular is the Medallion onion. And then that classic, that OG, that what we started with back in the early 90s. We put together this offer, and then this is the Medallion onion.
Okay, so tell us what we can expect from Medallion onion.
Okay, so first of all, you see real Medallion onions, the sweetest onion known to man from Georgia. We didn't use dehydrated onions. We used real onions that as the burger cooks, it literally bastes, it sautés within that burger. So now you take that really rich steak burger, and then you add a dimension of sweetness, and the balance is crazy.
It's like, right, you have your burger, you get those onions. Oftentimes people like sauteed onions on their burger. You don't need to saute them. They're actually already in the burger. They're in the burger and done. That's what you're getting with the Medallion onion. Let's talk about the cheddar bacon.
Okay, so cheddar bacon, we'll move that one over. Okay, so cheddar bacon. We have real Wisconsin cheddar and then applewood smoked bacon. So, yeah. So we put that inside the burger. This was one of our newest inventions several years ago. David, which is right in front of me right now, suggested this, that we put cheese and bacon in a burger, which, you know, makes sense.
Every bite is what he says.
And as I press down, you kind of see that cheddar just kind of oozing out there. So now, Rachel, you don't have to go out and get the cheese. You don't have to get the bacon. Because, first of all, whenever you do bacon on a cheeseburger, you got to cook it.
But more importantly, you're getting cheddar, cheese, and bacon in every bite. It's not just topping it, right? You're not going to miss out on getting that little bit of cheese and that sharp cheddar cheese and that bacon in each bite because it's already built in there. I'm from Minnesota. They've got a place in Minneapolis, I think called Juicy Lucy's, they've got cheese inside their burgers, and it's ridiculous. So you've got your version, your very own version here. And then there's classic as an option too. Tell us what's classic? If someone's like, well, okay, those are dressed up and fancy. Tell me what my classic choice is.
This is that classic steak burger that we always talk about. 4.5 ounces of all those wonderful steak trimmings in a very coarsely ground burger. Now, what do I mean by that? We coarsely grind it to create flavor pockets because we want all those steak trimmings, all that marbling, somewhere to hide so that when you bite into this, Rachel, it's just going to crumble. It's going to fall apart and melt into your mouth.
So when you say steak, what kind of steak are we talking about?
You get like the prime rib, the filet mignon, all those wonderful steak trimmings that a steak company is known for. Because let me make this point very clear. We are a steak company. That's all we do. Yes, we got the potatoes, we got the bratwurst, we got the hot dogs, but primarily we are a steak company. We're a butcher. We break down the cattle, we do it all.
Right.
And this is what we end up
And
with.
so when it's a steak burger, does that mean that that meat has been aged? Like, what makes this a steak burger, and why do we care that it's a steak burger?
Sure, so there's no mystery about it. So when you take expensive, elevated cuts of steak and you put them inside a burger, it's a recipe. Just like any recipe that you would make, right? So when you take different cuts, each cut has a different flavor profile, a different amount of fat. Fat equals flavor. And then you round it out. Now here's the key. I'm gonna give a little secret here.
Perfect.
You round it out with chuck.
Oh,
chuck
got
comes from the shoulder of the cattle. It is extremely marbled. And when you coarsely grind that along with those other cuts of meat, you get the recipe. And a lot of steakhouses come to us for our burgers.
For their burgers. So you know what? If you want to make a tower, 12 count you can get for that big deal price. So 12 burgers for under 70 bucks. There's no burger counter or burger restaurant that you can go and get 12 4.5-ounce steak burgers. I'm going to say that again, _steak steak burgers. So these are the trimmings from steak that you're getting with that blend of chuck. Make that tower. If you get the 24 count, you're saving close to $40. You take the per burger price down to $4.16. And the 12 count is where you can really twirl around in your fancy dress. Because the 12 count, you can get any one of the singular flavors. You can get all 12 in the classic. You can get all 12 in the Vidalia onion, all 12 in the cheddar bacon. That's cool if you only want one flavor. But how about if you're like me, you're gonna be entertaining, you want people to have choices, then you're gonna go for the 24. In the 24 count, sure, you can have all 24 burgers in that classic, but my recommendation is get 12 and 12 of your 2 favorite flavors. Whatever those are, we can send those to you at $4 and change a burger. There's an auto delivery on this big deal price, which means we're gonna lock in this price for you, lock in free shipping and handling, and when you get a duo in auto delivery of anything, you can change your flavor. So even if you got singular flavors in the 12 count, you can change your flavor on auto delivery. If you got multiple flavors in the 24 count, change your flavor in auto delivery. That's what makes shopping here fun when we're talking about shopping for food. What did you make for us, Ralph?
So what I did is, because these are 4.5 ounces, I did a double burger. And that's what's great about these, because at 4.5 ounces, you can create a double cheeseburger. In this case, I put mustard, ketchup, and onions. Now, if you want some advice, if you've never had our burgers, I would get one classic, definitely 24 count.
Sure.
One classic, and I would try the bacon cheddar. If you're a first timer. If you're a second timer, go with the bacon cheddar and the Vidalia onion. Vidalia onion is my personal favorite because, again, sauteed onions on a burger. What do you need?
I don't see a fork for me, a clean one.
I got you right here, right there.
Okay, so
let me give you the. Have you ever had the onion?
I'll have a fresh bite here, I think.
Nice.
So that is.
This is the onion, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna try the onion here. Because here's the story. The story is that we all love burgers. We're all going to a cookout somehow, some way. And
have you had
the Vidalia onion is really lovely.
It's nice, isn't it?
I like it with onions. Chef Ralph Pallarino.
Thank
you so much for bringing that to us. That's a big deal.
Hey, Ralphie Pallarino. He brings us the best burgers in town. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Appreciate
It smells so good here.
I know.
You know what it smells like?
A
Summer.
cookout.
It smells like summer.
Smells like summer.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you, Chef Ralph Pallarino.
And 135-1200. Item number
Okay,
for that.
come on.
Oh.